I thought I'd have a go at building this small motor yacht, which was advertised in the January edition of Model Boats of 2023. Now, as always, I like to see if I can build these boats as cheap as possible. So there's quite some good instructions in the magazine. Plus, they give you a free plan, which is not badly drawn actually. Some of the plans I've had before leave much to be desired, but this is quite a good one. So I'm going to try and use up some of my old bits of wood on this and keep the cost down, because you can spend quite a bit of money on buying the wood specifically for it. So what I've done to start with is to photocopy the plan they give you in the magazine, and then cut up the various profiles which you need to form the hull. So each one of those represents one of the cross members of the hull. What an important thing to notice is that on this type of construction, they all work to a datum line. Now, I made a mistake on a previous model where I've been so used to building kits, and you build them from the keel up, but you actually build this from the other way around. So this goes on the deck on a board, and they're all linked back to that datum, and then you saw off what you don't need at the end. So I've photocopied the plan and got profile out. And what I'm going to do is stick it on the wood. So then when I cut it out with on the jigsaw attachment, I can see precisely where the line is, and it hasn't got distorted by me trying to interpret the markings across from just scaling the drawing off. So that's the next step I'm going to do, is to stick these pieces of paper onto the plywood, and then we'll start cutting those out. So I'm using a spray adhesive, which is quite good for this, and just spray the boards. I just roughly marked out where the pattern will go, so I don't waste too much spray over bits that are not important. Okay, so that's that. And now, just a simple job of just laying that on the board, and just letting that stick. Okay, and then it's dead easy then just to trim around that on the jigsaw. Okay, so I've been busy now cutting out each of the sections that go through on the cross side supports where we pasted the pattern onto the plywood. So there's more cutting out to do, because I've got to cut these openings in here, but at the moment I'm just starting to plan it out on a baseboard, which I've found a piece of old wood here, and I've marked out a centre line of the down the middle of the boat, and each of these are the cross members going across here. So you've got 1 to 10, and I just marked using this plan, which is 2 scale, full scale, and I've marked them up 1 to 10 through there. So now what's going to happen is we've got to get some cross pieces of wood to go across, so that we can then fix the vertical pieces as we construct the boats. Right, now I've finished cutting up the various cross members, so they've all got hollow sections now, so the minimum weight of wood is being used. They've all been put in position, and also the main keel assembly, which goes right from the stern of the boat right up to the bows. That's all in position now and glued. We're going to have to do something about this section where the rudder goes, and also the propeller, because in the magazine, although they say you can convert it to have its own inboard engine, they didn't do it on their prototype, and when you drill through this for the shaft, it's going to completely sever the piece of plywood. So that's got to be fattened up with some extra ply around the side of it, but that's an item which I've got to spend a bit more time sorting out. We're making good progress. Next thing now is to start chamfering off the sides here so that they profile in with the overall side section of the boat, and then we'll put some stringers round to fit into those recesses to strengthen it up, and then makes a surface which you can fix the side planks of the boat on. Right, now I've fixed the lower skins of the hull to the boat frame, and you can see it's one of these things where you can't have too many clamps because you have to clamp every section down. You don't want to do too many pins, although I've done pin the top there, because you're going to have to fill those in afterwards. But that's fitted in quite well. That's dry now, and then we can take it off and gradually build up the other two side skins to complete the profile of the hull. Right, give you a bit of an update where we are now. I've fitted all the side panels onto the hull and just roughly sanded them back. There's a bit of obviously filling to do, and probably a little bit extra gluing, but we've got some side strips to go around here that cover all that up, but taking shape quite nicely, and the underside looking good. I've drilled the hole through for the prop shaft. That's going to be slightly different than the drawings because clearly that was put in as an afterthought on the drawings and not really thought through, but we've got a solution to deal with that. So I'll update you soon when we've got some decks on and the motors and some control gear in position. Right, so we moved on a bit since I last spoke to you all. We've now got the rudder tube in position. I've also pre-fitted the motor so I could get the right position for the propeller shaft, and finished off inside here now, all sanded out. I'm just going to give it a coat of fiberglass resin, which hopefully will completely seal any little holes that we have in the hull and make it completely waterproof. So I've had to bring it indoors now because it's a bit cold outside at the moment, but it's taking shape and looking quite good. With further updates, now made the decks ready to be installed shortly, and the roof of the cabin has been made. The side sections of the cabin have all been fitted in, and we also got the decking down the side here. Now I've marked the planking because when that's varnished up, it looks quite nice actually, and looks almost realistic as if it is real planking. This is need a bit more. This front will need a bit more trimming. I've also got the fixings for the metal stay wires which go up to the top of the mast, etc. Starting to do a loose fit for some of the equipment, the steering at the back with the servo in position there. Got some stop plugs in there for the batteries, the engine mounting, and the prop shaft is all in position now. So it's just a case, what we're going to do now is to seal the underside, just go and fill in with some car filler any little imperfections on the underside of the hull, and then we can sand it all down and probably spray it. So what I want to do is then put it in the water just to see if we've got any leaks or not before I start doing a major refit on the deck. Right, we're progressing quite well with the hull and the actual boat itself. Done the main, this has now been stuck on the deck. This is the main front deck. I've also done the lining of the planks, which when they're varnished they look quite good. Got the cabin roof done. The back section now has been made, which houses all the steering servo, and we've got a deck in here. Now another thing we've got to add in here is probably a seat, it's according to the pictures on the boat we're actually copying from the magazine. And the other thing is, been working on these side adjusters that will tension the mainstay wires. So these I found them quite expensive to buy, but I actually made up these myself quite easily. This is just buying a threaded section of brass there, and two M4 screws. One I drilled a hole through to take the wire stanchion, and that will bolt onto the side of these clips here. So that wasn't too bad. And next thing now is to put the mast support on here. We've actually started to make the mast, which I'll show you in a second. So here's the mast. It's been made out of a piece of oak. I didn't quite have the length required, so I've spliced it in up here, and then also formed that's the point where the main the jib sail gets supported from. So I've made a support clip as well, which fits in. So the whole thing will go together like that. Okay, and then I've also done the boom, which will bolt onto here, and then we got the boom. So taking pretty good shape. The next thing now is to start fitting out the all the radio equipment. We've got the motors in position now, but I'm going to put the servo to control the sails, speed controller and batteries, etc., and receiver, and then test all that out really, and then start painting. So watch this space. It's time for a bit of an update. Got all the radio control gear in now. There's the receiver over there, motor as was in before, servo to control the sails. That's the speed controller for the motor, and the back here we've got the steering servo, and I'll just that's it. Switch it on now and just show you it all working really. And the actual steering system at the back, all working well, and then the actual pulling the sails in from that servo there. Okay, now I'll just show you. I've started to do the varnishing now, which is looking good. So these are the bow of the yacht, and the mast now all up in position. Boom there ready, wants to be fixed in with the sails, the main sheet, and got some windows to put in on the cabin. Probably going to leave this top section here all painted in varnish because I think it looks quite smart, and then we're going to have a gloss grey and the red bottom on the side. So all the decks look good. Door into the cabin, and area that's housing all the steering system. And I think I'm going to probably saw that little lip thing coming out, which was, I've had to change the way in which the rudder has been assembled. So that'll get tidied up. So we're getting nearly to the point here we're nearly finished, but got to make the sails now. That's the next big thing, and also got to make the keel, which involves a bit of lead work there, so we'll see how it goes. Right, this is one of the final updates of the building of this boat, which is pretty well complete now. You see that we've made some sails, and the sails have been made from old drawing film and plans. It's a bit novel because you can see the outlines of building designs on the sails, which is a bit different, but nevertheless it was all free. These are old drawings, but from about 50 years old now, so there's no actual purpose to keep them. The colours slightly changed on the hull, and I decided to go for white on the side and blue, a bit more striking, and perhaps going for grey, which I was planning to do at one time. Built the keel. You can see there's a keel, 1.5 pounds lead keel on the bottom. That was interesting to build, and laminating sheet lead and resin it together and bolting it so it's all firmly held in position. And then it's bolted up inside the inside the deck under the cabin. This guy here we call Edgar. He's not really a sailor, but he fits the right size, and we let him hold the ropes occasionally just to make him feel important. You'll see all the connectors on the side, which made because I felt they were quite expensive to buy. Some of those were £6 to £8 a go, and it can soon add up when you need about four of them. At the top we've made a bargee which will reflect the wind direction, and more important also we've got a stand now which is holds it better, because you need to keep the keel clear at the bottom, and you don't really want to keep assembling it at the pond side, so it's all can go. It's not a particularly heavy boat, so all that remains now really is we're going to do another test in a tank just to make sure that it all balances level, and then it's a case of going out on the pond and seeing how well she sails. But we pick a day which isn't too arduous, otherwise we might lose her. So but I think it's going to be quite a stable boat actually. It's got a bit of weight to it. The sails aren't all that large considering the size of it, so I think it should go quite well. But it's not a bad weather type boat. And because what we've got is the secret of the engine, which was never done from the prototype, which was put in the magazine. Just switch the controller on from down here, and inside the cabin here, a switch there which comes up. So, bit of propeller going there, forward and backwards, and we've got the rudder turning one way and the other. It's all working well. And then finally I better take this out of his hand, because otherwise poor Edgar here might lose his fingers. But we've got the different basically two main settings really, fairly sort of like tightly hauled in, and then what I would suggest is a beam reach really. Sophistication as we're going to have on this particular boat, but yeah, so it looks quite good. And in all, it's only cost me about £60 for all the bits and pieces. The rest of it I did scraps of wood and other bits of things that I didn't really have to buy. So I'll give you an update once we get it in the water, and that'll be it. Job done.
Right, now to the left. Just a touch. Just a touch. Down to the left. Oh, you're lost.
Steve's got some wind, so you've had it now.
No, he's not lost. Oh, missed. Got my problem, Rog. You went in front of it.